Hey guys, stay out of trouble now. Suck my Steve Haynes.
So this past Sunday marks the 10-year anniversary of the release of Grand Theft Auto 5. And looking back at Grand Theft Auto 5 purely for its story, it's been kind of debated these past few years if Grand Theft Auto 5 actually does have a good story. I would say the story isn't as memorable as the previous games, but I will say that it is still a good story. One of the weaker points of the game's story would have to be the multiple antagonists of the story. This is what I really don't like about Grand Theft Auto 5's story, is that in the beginning, the idea that the FIB is behind the scenes pulling the strings, and that the FIB blackmailing the three main characters and holding leverage over them to do all these jobs for them. The precedent is kind of set at that point that the FIB, or Steve Haynes, is the main antagonist to the game. And you kind of don't get that feeling at the end of the game if you choose option C, or the Death Wish option. Yeah, you kill Steve Haynes, but it's really anticlimactic. Honestly, why does Devin Weston, why does he get the big send-off death at the end of the game? Why wasn't it Steve Haynes? Like, what did Devin Weston do that was so terrible? The one bad thing, really bad thing I think that he actually did was send Merryweather mercenaries to go kill Michael's family. That's the only bad thing he did. Like, yeah, he did rip off Franklin with the cars that Franklin stole from him. Yeah, he did try to shelve Michael's movie, like what David Zaslav did to Batgirl. With all that being said, he only did one bad thing. Meanwhile, Steve Haynes, he blackmails all three of the main characters on multiple occasions. He gets Michael to kidnap somebody from the IAA. He forces you to torture a knowingly innocent man. He makes you rob a bank in Toledo Bay so you can fund a job for him. He makes you raid the Humane's lab. He then makes you break into the FIB building and steal files and wipe files off of the FIB servers. He tries to get Franklin to kill Trevor. And then there's a big Mexican standoff of rogue FIB agents, the IAA, and Merryweather, and you have to fight your way through that. All that being said, he's done a lot more to the three main characters than Devin Weston ever did. So why is Devin Weston given the main antagonist treatment? What they did in GTA 5 would be the equivalent if San Andreas, if they built Officer Tenpenny up to be the main antagonist of the game, and then once you get to San Fierro and you start working with Jizzy B becomes the main antagonist, and then Officer Tenpenny just gets like a side character treatment for the rest of the game. That's essentially what they did. I don't mind killing Devin Weston, it was pretty cool to kill him, but you could have killed him in a more creative way, honestly. For example, Trevor could have stole a laser jet from Fort Sancudo, and they could have just airstriked his house. And they could have kidnapped Steve Haynes live on air. They could have gave him the same death Devin Weston had instead. And Devin Weston wasn't really as much as a threat. Like, yeah, I call Merryweather on you guys anytime he wanted to because he had stock in Merryweather, but other than that, he wasn't a real threat compared to Steve Haynes, an actual FIB agent. So like I said, treating Devin Weston as like the main antagonist of the game is just really dumb to me. I really feel that Steve Haynes was a much more overarching villain. And Steve Haynes is more deserving of having the final death than Devin Weston, because Steve Haynes was actually the real villain of Grand Theft Auto 5, not Devin Weston. But that's pretty much all I really got to say about this. Honestly, I just don't think Devin Weston really deserves to have the title of main antagonist for Grand Theft Auto 5. Me personally, I believe it should have been Steve Haynes. And that's one of my many issues with the story with GTA 5 in general. But if you guys did go enjoy this video, like and comment, we appreciate it. Subscribe new to the channel. And yeah, with all that out of the way, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.